My name is Angel, and I want to just talk a bit about what's going on in Istanbul. I don't know if anybody's familiar or have heard the events that are going on in Istanbul right now in Turkey. A lot of people will make a lot of money from closing down one of the last public parks they have out there, and the people of Istanbul have just got sick and tired of it, and they're just in the park and they're not going for it. And they begin support from all around the world. People have been coming from all around the world to go to Istanbul and be in this park, and it's thousands of people. You could find out about it on the internet. There's a lot of media that's not focusing on it, but luckily there's a lot of alternative outlets where you can find out about it. And it's just an example of people that really care about something that's theirs, not letting it be taken away from them. You know, we're talking about matter of right. We're using a lot of terminology here. There's a misconception that we have to convince people not to take 5 points away from us. 5 points is ours, and it can't be taken away from us unless we let it be taken away from us. 5 points is a building, it's a landmark. It's not a money generator. People come from all over the world to go there, and it generates all types of revenue for all the stores and all the delis and everything in that area, and that's just true. And this is a limited amount of people. Instead of an unlimited, tourist thing that brings people to Queens. I mean, it's one of the biggest tourist attractions in Queens, and probably in New York City. But it doesn't have a gift shop, in the bottom of it like the Statue of Liberty. You don't have to pay $40 to go to the top of it like the Empire State Building. So it's not the same money generating thing. However, I just want people to know that me myself, I have been discussing, and I want for the people here to know that are making decisions that it's not really up to any. It's not up to y'all what happens to 5 points. We're not, should you guys decide that 5 points is coming down, or should you, somehow delusionally come to make that decision, it's not your building. We're not going to let you take it. We've already began discussions, and we're going to get reinforcements from all over the world. I go all over the world, and people know 5 points, and we're going to get reinforcements from all over the world. And we're going to stay there, and we're going to grow and grow and grow and grow, and we're going to stay there until y'all leave, if you try to come take our building. And I'm saying this to the people in the back and in the front, and we're going to be peaceful and everything, obviously. And in Istanbul, the police got called out. And a lot of the police over there in Istanbul have taken sides. A lot of police are deciding that they don't want to do, immoral things for money because it's their job. You know what I mean? These people don't respect us. Did you say 13 seconds? These people don't respect us, so let's just demand their respect. This is ours, not theirs.
Okay. I'm a native New Yorker, and I reside in Queens. I work in Long Island City, in the corporate world, and in the arts as a choreographer and a dancer. I have many concerns about this proposal from G&M Realty. It is imperative to take into consideration the reputation and the track record of this developer, specifically in our community. I ask all of you here today, is it fair to say that this developer has had a history of neglect, particularly in this building? Can we trust this developer? Is it fair to ask the community board to consider that this company has lied in the past about what it has done with this property? From 2000 to April 2009, this building hosted around 100 artist studios, generating approximately $40,000 a month to G&M Realty. Each studio was partitioned off. We are all aware of the incident on April 10th, 2009, when an artist plunged 5 stories from a staircase collapse. Violations filed by the ECB stated, quote, altered and changed building occupied without a valid certificate of occupancy. Noted, at above premises, approximately 150 loft studios have been erected with metal and wood studs contrary to department records, end quote. On June 3rd, 2009, G&M Realty's proposal to legalize existing artist studios was disapproved and the job was withdrawn. So is it fair to say that the artist studios from 2000 to 2009 were illegal to begin with? This case from April 2009 is still open. G&M Realty filed recently an extension appertaining to this settlement of this case in the New York Journal of Law, May 23rd, 2013. Interesting, this is the day after the last CB2 public hearing regarding this proposal. And what about Long Island? The Pilgrim Psychiatric Estate, property purchased in 2002, this has yet to break ground 11 years later. With this in mind, how is it possible to entrust this company with their proposal? Will they follow through with said plan or illegally change it based on what better suits the needs of their profit margin for a quick buck? If G&M Realty was unable to take care of this property the first time, left this building in condemned condition for years, how can we possibly believe that it won't happen again? Neglect, violation, disapproved proposals, open settlement cases, underdeveloped projects. This is the face of G&M Realty. Can you trust this company with our community, with our safety, and with our children?
We already know, whatever the outcome here tonight, the pernicious, avaricious Wolkoff family will go on to Borough Hall and then up to the BSA to push the construction of their mediocre ego erections forward. We will be at their heels. But know this before you cast your votes. 5 Points is recognized worldwide as an art masterpiece, just as this is. If you vote for its destruction, you will be remembered as provincial bumpkins, accessories to an art form. Enough said. Vote and be blessed, or vote and be damned.
Hey y'all, so like the last two people you've seen, I'm an educator and performer, and I've been working in New York City and around the world with young people. And I know you've been hearing about the statistics, and I know you understand that the arts and creativity create autonomy, and autonomy creates entrepreneurship. And that young people, when given a reason to care about something, will care about something and will learn. I know y'all know that. And I know that it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with you. You're not in school. I feel you. This is what's important. We have a developer with a dubious distinction, with a bit of a bad history, who doesn't financially support you and your community, who doesn't support your community really in any way. And we have a place where young people can come to and create things and learn stuff together. And the important thing about this learning that we have in 5 Points, about this community that we create, is it's what's been keeping you safe for the past decade. When they're talking about those students who are doing graffiti in 5 Points rather than committing acts of vandalism, rather than committing crimes, rather than hurting people, not because, oh, now I have somewhere to draw, so I'm going to do that instead of stabbing somebody, because I would rather stab somebody, but I got a place to draw. It's because you know, and I know, we all have emotional outbursts. You've seen us on stage, many of us, inarticulate, unable to speak. You see, I can't stand still right now because this matters to me, as it matters to so many people in this room who are a part of your community. Whether you want us to be or not, we have your back, and have had your back, and have been training and raising the young people in the community for over a decade now, giving them a reason to care, giving them a reason to share. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it happened. And giving them an impetus to do better for one another, to care about more than their own personal bottom line, to care about you and you, specifically you, to look out for you when you're out on the street, to create beauty so that we can see what's beautiful in each other. Thank you.
I still live and work in Long Island City. I'm still an event planner, and I first want to offer my help to the community board. Our first public hearing was at PS1 with a maximum of 40 chairs and no air conditioning. We have greatly improved on this location. It's bigger, yet apparently people are stuck in the street, not allowed to come in because apparently we're at maximum occupancy. There are no occupancy certificate posted anywhere on the ground floor as it's required by the fire department. We may want to look into that.
Just to make sure you know, we didn't stop anybody from coming in. It's Sunnyside Community.
Yes, you did.
Well, it's a community center.
We have it on camera.
Excuse me.
It's
Let me finish. We're not going to interrupt your time. I just want to be clear
Yeah,
about that.
no,
Okay,
you're
you'll have plenty of time to speak.
Yeah.
Is that we did not stop anybody from coming in. This is the building that's owned by Sunnyside Community Services. The people at the front are representative employees of Sunnyside Community Services. If they've made a decision, I'm not aware of it. So that's all I want to be clear. We did not stop anybody from coming in.
That's why I'm kindly offering my help from now on to help you assess and get the right venue for the right meeting so everybody can be heard. On that note, 5 points is for the people, by the people. We're sorry, we're broke. You may be aware of a firm named Kramer, Levin, Naftalis and Frankel LLP. What they are is they are a lobbying firm, and their services have been retained by G&M Realty. In 2012, the amount of money given to community boards, mayor's office, borough president of Queens, NYC council members was a total of $138,224.39. As of Tuesday this year, for 2013, the donation amount was about $27,000. Guess what? I went and checked the website today for an updated amount. And the updated amount is now $62,208. I am respectfully and kindly asking every board member in this room to not just go by the dollar amount that may be contributed to the local elected and the community board and the community board president, but to actually honor the residents of this community that are standing before you came out.
Let me clarify again. I'm not
Okay,
going to
sure.
give you more time.
Yeah.
The community board cannot accept, take money, or has a checkbook from anybody.
Okay.
So we did not receive any money. If
Okay.
contributions were made to other people, such as political leaders or people that are in government, we don't see that money. So we do not receive any money. So I want to be clear. We receive nothing. This is all volunteer based.
Just like us. So you may want to contact then Kramer, Levin, and Naftalis, and I will leave you the paper for the record so you can fix it. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you to the Community Board 2 Council for this time. It's great to see what democracy really looks like. Lois, I'm going to piggyback on where you left off, speaking from multiple perspectives. I don't do graffiti, but I'm a hip-hop artist, and I'm also an educator in New York City Public Schools. I'm a veteran of 13 years, and one of the things I've done is to create a rap song-based, a hip-hop curriculum that's helped students pass the New York State Regents exams. And we talk a lot about the city standards here. And when I think about the city standards, that's what I think about. I think about passing the test. And in my experience, it's the arts that has helped the disengaged population, the students really struggling to meet that standard, right? If you look at the New York City Blueprint for the Arts, you have a structure right down the road that can really be applied to meeting those standards right there. And you think about the nationalized Common Core curriculum that's on its way. We have a really amazing resource right here that will continue to draw people from around the world to come here. I also really briefly want to talk about cultural capital, right? We don't want to look back and lament the loss of another New York City landmark, the old Penn Station, the Savoy Hotel. We don't want the 5 points to share that legacy. Lastly, as a poet, I think one of the greatest things we can do is pay tribute to art with art. So I would say 5 points 5 elements, 5 boroughs, 1 block, 1 love, 1 heart, 1 mural, 5 points. 5 elements, 5 boroughs, 1 block, 1 love, 1 heart, 1 mural. Burners, bombs, buffs, throw up tags and toys. MCs, DJs, B-girls and B-boys. Cats and queens, BK, BX, Manhattan, Staten. Families of tourists, international backpacking. Traveling to reach the 5 POINTZ. Whether on the 7 train or across the 7 seas. To see this indescribable mecca of art, it takes away your breath and fills your heart with bubble letters, wild styles, portraits, and tribute. A building that's a canvas captures culture, a living, breathing hip-hop museum and venue. A building that's a canvas captures cultural realness for the old school heads and school kids on field trips. I've been around the world and it's like nothing I've visited. Let's not let it just become just one more condominium. To a council that advises, let's avoid devastation. Sometimes the greatest progress is found in preservation. Thank you.
Rachel Fagiano. I work in international relations and am a museum scholar. I'm better at writing, so I'm going to read my writing. The demolition of... I'm sorry? I'm very short. The demolition of 5 Points would mean the loss of an important and essential cultural institution. It is true that the Walkoff family generously donated the outside of the building free of charge to the artists who use it in order to allow them to practice their craft legally. It is also true that legally Walkoff has the right to demolish his own property. However, at a certain point, it is essential to understand that our cultural institutions are not always purposely constructed, but that sometimes they organically flow out of a specific community's tireless efforts at creative output. I've heard numerous arguments put forth by those who are in favor of the project that it is the physical, who are against the project, that the physical property that belongs to a specific person, and as such, the artists have no right to any claims concerning the property itself. I would say that this argument fails to recognize that 2 types of property are being discussed in these conversations, the physical and the intellectual. At what point does the right to a particular given space transfer from an individual property owner to a community? We have as a country determined that it is a necessity to preserve certain historical spaces, regardless of ownership rights, given their cultural significance. Why should it be any different for 5 Points? 5 Points is known the world over. It attracts busloads of tourists to the community, bringing a much-needed influx of cash into the neighborhood, serves as an educational center, promotes social justice issues, and encourages the creativity of future generations. In its performing functions, which are different from its legally recognized functions, it acts as a museum and an important educational center. Thank you.